Ethan Carter grew up in Chicago, USA. As a boy, he dreamed of becoming a lawyer. His teachers admired his sharp mind, and his mother always said, "Ethan, you're going to change the world one day." But life doesn't always follow the path we imagine. At 17, Ethan's father died of a sudden heart attack. His mother, unable to pay the bills alone, worked 2 jobs, but it wasn't enough. By the time Ethan turned 19, the bank repossessed their home. He and his mother were forced to live in a shelter. Ethan felt humiliated. He stopped attending college classes because students mocked his situation. He often sat on the cold steps of a library, staring at people in suits and wondering if he'd ever escape the cycle of poverty. One night, as rain poured down, Ethan looked up at the sky and whispered, "Why me? Why do I have to suffer like this?" For months, Ethan worked small jobs, cleaning offices, washing dishes, delivering newspapers. Yet nothing seemed enough to pull him out of poverty. He carried books in his backpack, but whenever he opened them, the words blurred because of exhaustion. His friends slowly disappeared. Nobody wanted to hang out with a homeless kid one day. In his lowest moment, Ethan was sitting outside a subway station with his hood up when a stranger dropped a crumpled $20 bill into his lap, assuming he was begging. Ethan's pride burned. He wasn't asking for money, he just wanted a chance. That night, Ethan promised himself, "One day I'll earn so much that no one will ever pity me again." At 20, something happened that changed everything. A retired professor named Mr. Harrison often saw Ethan sitting outside the library. One evening, he approached him and asked, "Son, why do you sit here every day with those books?" Ethan told him everything about his father's death, losing their home, his dream of law, and how life had broken him. Instead of pity, Mr. Harrison gave him belief. He said, "Ethan, success is not about where you start. It's about where you decide to go. I'll help you, but you must promise me one thing: never give up." That night, Ethan cried not because of pain, but because someone finally saw his worth. With Mr. Harrison's mentorship, Ethan applied for scholarships, took free online courses, and spent every free hour reading. He worked part-time at a cafe, studying between shifts. At 22, he applied to Harvard, not expecting much. Weeks later, he received the email that would change his life: accepted. When Ethan arrived at Harvard, he felt out of place. His classmates wore designer clothes. He had only 2 pairs of shoes, but he remembered his mother's words and Mr. Harrison's advice, so he studied harder than anyone else. He sat in the front row, asked questions, and stayed in the library until midnight. Slowly, professors began to notice his brilliance. By 25, Ethan graduated at the top of his class. But his story didn't end there. He was invited back to Harvard not as a student, but as a guest speaker to share his journey of resilience. Standing on that stage, Ethan looked at hundreds of students and said, "I was once homeless. People thought I'd never make it. But pain is not permanent. If you refuse to quit, even the darkest nights will lead to sunrise." The audience gave him a standing ovation. Some students even had tears in their eyes. Ethan Carter's life teaches us, you are never too broken to rebuild. Kindness can change a life forever. Success is not given. It is earned through discipline, resilience, and belief. If you feel lost, remember Ethan. Remember the boy who was homeless at 19 but spoke at Harvard by 25. Your struggle today could be the reason for your greatness tomorrow.